I absolutely love these new tires, but every time I go to turn, if I crank the wheel all the way, it gets past this. But this little part of the fender sticks out and rubs against it. You can see there's some room behind it. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna heat it up with a torch and push it in.
Brian's Mobile One.
And that way it won't rub like that anymore. With the bumps, it sounds terrible. It sounds like this. The idea is to have this collapse, basically just like any other plastic object that you can be concave or convex, popping it in or out. I need to do that, but in order to make that happen, I mean, we could even take some screws and screw it down. I'd like to maintain factory fasteners so that if I have to pull it in and out, there's not an extra screw or extra step. A little bit more work now, but better results in the long term. An alternative method that you've seen done on these used fender flares that I got is to use a knife and just cut it away. While you can do that, it doesn't yield the same long-term results that heating it and moving it this way does. You can see the rub marks here. We don't have a lot of material that we have to move, just a little bit. This actually protects the metal behind it. If we cut this away, then rocks and debris will chip it and it'll cause a rust problem. The last thing you need on a Chrysler product is exposed rust. We call it cancer for a reason. It spreads like crazy. Another good thing to do is to look underneath and ensure you don't have any wire harnesses. I happen to know there's a wire harness back here, but I don't know how far in. So where I'll be working is down here at this bottom, and there's nothing there. But if you go a little bit higher up, you can see there's some wire harnesses above it. You just need to be careful. You don't want to be heating or messing those up at all. If you start low, heat rises. It's easy to get all the rest of the stuff above nice and hot. So what I'm going to do is I heat this with a torch, get it nice and soft, and then I'm going to use this is an auto body anvil. I'm just going to push that into it and get that to pop through. You can use a heat gun. It's probably a little better idea than using a torch, but a torch works too. You want to do it evenly. You don't want to light it on fire or create melty, nasty spots. But especially concentrate on the curves here. Ideally, I would come from this side. So then I just push it in with the spoon. I'm not getting it to pop inside out the way I would really like to. If you can get it to push inside out, that's ideal. I didn't get enough heat on the inside because there's another curve to it. But you can see I've already got quite a bit of gains by doing that. That might even be enough. See if I can heat a little bit more in this corner. Again, a heat gun is preferred if you're patient and near a power outlet. But if not, these propane torches, holy smoke. That's kind of a play on words, isn't it? Holy smokes, are they effective at getting things supple and workable. Pliable, if you will. You'll notice that I'm wearing leather gloves. If I were to be doing this with my bare hands, I'd be having a hard time. Be hard to hold on to it long enough to let it cool. But you can reshape these. I mean, they don't call it a thermoplastic for nothing, or thermoset. That side's done. Let's do the other side. These are the kind of projects where you deal with it. It's annoying. Once you finally do it, you're like, why didn't I do this sooner? This is the part here that needs to move in. Push that in, hold it with a spoon while it cools. This also gives you a smoother texture to it. If you hold on to it with your gloves, you can get like a print or, you know, something that's not quite as like gorgeous smooth, but it's better than it could be otherwise. And it still protects the metal, protects the paint that protects the metal, I should say. If you want to spray this with some water, that'll cool it fast. It does the same thing that steel does just about, in that it loses heat really quickly in the presence of water. I don't know if it makes it any harder or causes it to be brittle, but it'll sure cool quickly. At any rate, nobody's really going to see that or worry about it, and it's not going to bark at me every time I go to turn the wheel hard. Heck yeah! So now that I've heated it and mushed it, you can see the prints, the tracks that I left behind, but what you don't see is any contact between the tire and that plastic shroud. The shroud still serves its purpose without all the barking and all the noise. The best way to say thanks is poke subscribe right in the face and then click the little bell. If you want to be notified, you can be notified too. Thanks.